What's going on? It's Titan here once again, and have you ever heard of sniping with a shotgun? No? Well, just play with the Argus a couple of games. I mean, this shotgun got buffed more times than I can count, and I still don't really get it why it did, since it is a pretty good shotgun in my opinion. The range is just great on it. No shotgun can pretty much beat the Argus at range, especially when it comes to one-shotting people. But if you enjoyed this video, and since this is a longer tutorial tips video again, show some love and support my channel by dropping a like on this video and also sharing it if it's not too much to ask, of course. Now today's topic is about how to win more gunfights in Black Ops 3, and this will consist of 3 parts because I cannot do every part in one video because that would be really long. Now this is the first part, how to win more gunfights. The second part will be predicting enemy spawns for a smarter play, and the third part will be how to come back from a potential loss where the enemy team is pretty much destroying yours. Let's start from the beginning. The most frequently asked question in Call of Duty is how to be better than the opponents that you are facing, and you suddenly start thinking in terms of how can I outplay or how can I out-aim that guy in the enemy team who is always beating me. Winning more gunfights depends on more factors. However, the first and most basic one is that you will need to know how to aim in a first-person shooter game. Whether you're playing with a mouse or keyboard or a controller, without you knowing how to aim properly or how to track people, the tips that I am going to say are going to be pretty useless. Now, if you're one of those players who are struggling with aiming, I will leave a link in the description with a website where you can train your aim. Unfortunately, this is mostly for PC players, since on console you got a controller and aim assist and there's no really aim training for that. But if you navigate to the website in the description, you can train your aim there and you got all sorts of different activities that you can complete. Now, the second most important thing is you have to find your perfect sensitivity. Whether you are on console or PC, doesn't matter, you will need to find on what sensitivity you play best. Sensitivity will help you when it comes to out-aiming your opponent, since if you are comfortable with your sensitivity, you will be able to follow the enemy with your aim, or with other words, to track your enemy. I would recommend starting with a really low sensitivity and working your way up to a higher and higher one until you find the perfect setting for either your mouse or your controller. When you found your perfect setting, you will feel it and know it because it will feel natural to you. Just a side note, also, playing on a lower sensitivity gives you a much better aiming precision than playing on a really high one. Now, the third most important factor for winning more gunfights is your movement. Since we live in the 21st century, the movement we have in COD nowadays is this monkey style, I can jump all the way to the space kind of movement thing. And this type of movement, believe it or not, gives us a lot of combinations that we can learn and use in combat. There are 2 main movements in Black Ops 3 that can come in handy. The first one is mostly known and called the stutter movement. This consists of a simple movement set which can confuse enemies and make you a lot harder to hit. Here I will demonstrate what the stutter movement is whenever you are in a face-to-face combat with someone. You can move right and left, then right and left again, and so on, or vice versa. You can practice this in a private match, as I do here, and just move from left to right, or again vice versa, and aim at one spot only. This will not just improve your aim, but it will also build a muscle memory for you to remember this movement. Using this movement will make you way harder to hit, and for other players to keep track of you, since you are moving constantly without stopping. You can move from left to right in a smaller steps or just simply move in bigger steps. Since Black Ops 3 is also about jumping a lot in the air, there's another great movement set that you can utilize in combat. If you watch my videos a lot, you would notice that I use this method all the time, and it is the absolute best movement in the air. Let me also show you how this works. Whenever you are in a combat, you are jumping a lot of times in the air because you already got used to Black Ops 3 movement. Now, when you're in a face-to-face combat with someone and you jump up in the air, either you push yourself to the left or to the right while you're trying to kill the other guy. Now, let's just say you jump to the right, but while you are in mid-air, you just stop moving towards the right and you start moving towards the left, which will stop you in mid-air. The reason why this is really good to win more gunfights is because the other guy is tracking and expecting you to keep moving to the right. But if you suddenly stop in the middle by moving in the opposite direction for at least a half a second, he will keep aiming towards the right because he's expecting you to keep moving towards the right and not noticing that you stopped in mid-air. Also, since you know what you will be doing, you will have a much better chance at killing him. This also needs practicing, and you can do that the same way with the stutter movement. You can also practice this movement on the mannequins, which will help you keep your aim steadier. Now, winning more gunfights in Black Ops 3 can also consist of what specialists you are using and when you're using them. The best specialist abilities to use are Kinetic Armor, Gravity Spikes, and the Ripper. These three specialists are made for panic kills pretty much and can keep your streak alive. Now, don't just use them on one person where you are sure that you can get one kill. Use these abilities whenever you pushed way too far in the enemy spawn, or where there are multiple enemies rushing you at the same time, or maybe when you ran out of bullets but there is someone rushing you. This can help you keep your streak alive, or to just simply buy some more time to stay alive longer. Another thing that adds to winning more gunfights is to play smart. You can do that by using the map to your advantage. This also requires some map knowledge, but in your free time, you can study the maps in theater mode. Now, knowing where people are usually camping or knowing the camp spots or head glitches can make so much difference, since you can come out pre-aiming at a camping spot, for example. Running UAV is the most helpful thing for you to win gunfights, since you will know where the enemy is, which means you can and you should always pre-aim corners, since that is a huge advantage and gives you an upper hand in winning a gunfight. Playing smart also means not to push too far in the enemy spawn, but since this is about winning gunfights, let's assume that you did push way too far and the whole team is spawning on you. Combining the stutter movement with the air jumping movement that I mentioned above will make you stay alive longer when there are 2-3 people trying to kill you. Not all the time, but most of the time. The very last and probably the most important factor is to stay calm. If you get angry that you're losing or someone is always out aiming you, you will do even worse. You might think this is stupid, but trust me, it isn't. The reason why is because when you are angry, you shift your attention from playing to being angry at a person, and then you are not focusing on the game anymore, but you are giving more attention to your anger, which leads for you to make stupid decisions and not be able to aim properly. This happened to me a lot of times, so stay focused and stay calm. But these were all the best tips that I can give you, bros, and also this is what I use, so I shared my knowledge with you guys. So now it's your turn to utilize and implement these tips in your gameplay as well. Don't forget to be patient with yourself and practice a lot, since nothing works at the first try. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to show me some love and drop a like, and also subscribe to my channel if you are new. But again, I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching. Stay well, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.